Hey YouTube, it's Tim here from Snap Attack, and today we're going to talk about the Spring4Shell vulnerability in today's threat snapshot. So Spring4Shell is obviously in the news right now, probably playing off of the Log4j vulnerability, because again, this is another Java framework. This CVE here, this is in the Spring core. There is another one in the Spring Cloud Foundations. And without going into too much technical details, really this is just an issue with their data binding functionality, and it can lead to remote code execution. Based on the name Spring4Shell, what that is typically doing in the exploit POCs is dropping a web shell. So for this attack session, really like this one because we're able to actually show how Linux works in the platform, as well as attacker and victim machines. So we just took this POC that's widely available. Shout out to Lunasec for putting this together. We took it out of the Docker container simply because we wanted to see what those logs would look like on an endpoint. So here we have the Kali Linux attacker, and I'm going to just kind of zoom in here a little bit, a little zoom enhance. We can actually hit play. We can see what's happening. But we've got, again, that POC stood up on the victim machine, and we're just going to run that exploit script. So this is going to actually create and drop the web shell. And then they give you this little helpful, hey, if you run this command, you can run your arbitrary commands. And they're using that example of the Linux command ID to actually see what user you're running as. So we can run that here. We can see the output. Again, this is running as root. This isn't necessarily indicative of a privilege escalation attack. This was just how we had that set up. If we actually wanted to take a look over at the victim machine and see what we had, again, I'm going to zoom in here. So, just running a basic ls in the web root, we don't have anything here. And then if we jump ahead in the video after, we can run ls again, and we're going to see this shell.jsp appear here. A couple of different analytics that we have already in here. So we can see some process discovery and local account enumeration, again, that ID command. So those are being picked up. If we take a look at graph, and again, this is able to take a look at sysmon for Linux, we can see here that this ID command was run. Some current limitations with this, we don't see a parent image. I personally would love to see this being run under the Java context. You can see here it is running out of the Tomcat directory, so that could make for a little bit more interesting and targeted analytic to reduce some false positives. But again, really would like to see a little bit more information like this is coming from a web shell and not just a regular user running ID. Again, more of how I would hunt for this. Digging into Splunk here, I actually like the file creation logs for this. If you're actually just taking a look to see what JSP files, you're going to find that web shell as well as some other kind of intermediate files, the classes and things that are created. So I could hop over to the Snap Attack Analytic IDE here, again, pulling that target log. And again, this one actually does have that parent image. So I can say that java.exe is the process, was creating a file. And again, this is just a very generic web shell looking for JSP or classes. And this would be a very, very good way to take a look at, again, some of those low-hanging fruit, web shell creations. Obviously, you could make this a little bit more robust, but this is just kind of one approach to taking a look and finding, the Spring4Shell vulnerability in your network. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you want to see more of these, this is a weekly series, so follow us, like, and subscribe.